Thank you. So I want to feel the satisfaction and lightness that comes from letting old, outdated beliefs fall away.
We like that word, outdated.
And I want to get better and better at synthesizing energy and moving it toward the things that
we have a question for you. If you are a synthesizer, if you are a harmonizer,
yes.
If you are a thinker, if you are a pointer, then isn't the only way to let go of an outdated belief to replace it with something new, because you're a thinker.
Yeah.
And you're going to be thinking about something. We just want to stick that in there.
Okay.
Because you are a thinker. Your mind wants to go. And in the absence of alignment that's calling you to these thoughts, you'll be called to these thoughts because you have this proclivity to consider and focus and conclude. Yeah.
And so that's the answer. It's getting more in that momentum of wanted and practicing it until it's known.
But the thing is, how does one get into the momentum? That's the thing. So when you think about attraction, or even think about water flowing downhill, if you were the water flowing downhill, would you say, I need to flow downhill? Or would you just be flowed downhill? It's just a natural consequence of gravity and where you are. In the absence of the thought that is resistant to the natural flow, that momentum will just take you there. It's attraction. And so this is really good. This is really a good conversation you're stirring up here. It's attraction, 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 attraction. Yeah? And your inner being is an attractor, 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 attractor. Yeah? So your inner being is gathering cooperative components. Let's call that momentum. And if you're not thinking opposing thoughts, then you're going to be part of your inner being's attraction. Yeah? So, are you being manipulated by your inner being? No. Why? Because you put it there. You focused here and created this. Your inner being focused here with emphasis and is now calling you to that. So we're just wanting to clarify that one small word that you used is a big word, but we really want to clarify this one small point. It's a big point, but we really want to clarify this. Momentum isn't something you do, it's something that you allow. Law of attraction is the momentumizer, not you. You're the focuser, which allows you to flow in the direction. You're under the influence of something. What is it? Your desires or beliefs. And when desires and beliefs are in the same place, that's pretty strong attraction, yes? This is new stuff to think about, isn't it? New way of thinking about that stuff. We knew you'd like that because you really like to chew on things.
Thank you very much.
That's
awesome. I think I'm good.
Really, for sure?
I mean, I would love to continue the energy here of momentum because I felt that move within me when you said it.
Let's do it then.
All right. So maybe we could go back and forth and I could start.
Yeah.
So I love this new understanding that you gave me about allowing the momentum and being in the flow of it and allowing things that I want to continue to increase.
Hold the thought. We know you can. It's like when people say, I'm learning to use the law of attraction. We say, you're not using the law of attraction. The law of attraction is using you. You don't use gravity either. It's happening around you. But you do have some things that you try to do that make you struggle in the natural flow of things. And that's what causes you to have negative emotion. Because ultimately, it's all turning out good for you. All right. We interrupted you. Find your place.
So things are turning out well for me.
Yeah.
And they're continuing to get better and better. And I love what I know and what you're illustrating for me as I continue to build toward what I want.
It is so much fun to understand how it works and then be a deliberate cooperative component within it. And when you come to trust the goodness of your inner being and the personalness of what it is calling you toward because you put it there, then you get to be that deliberate creator and that allower of what you've created all at the same time. And then as you allow these thoughts to turn to things and the manifestations to explode into your world, you get to feel the thrill that your inner being feels over the successful creation that you have accomplished. This is a little bit of a tricky conversation, and you've been following it extremely well. This is the trickiness of the conversation. It's all you that we're talking about, but it's different aspects of you. So we refer to your inner being and refer to you, and what our entire desire is to bring you together with your inner being. But you said, well, I said that I would separate ever so slightly from what my inner being knows, and I would be the pioneer that would go out to discover new nuggets. So I'm branching out into a step one moment, and I'm finding something that I want. And as I'm finding something missing, which is causing me to identify what I want, and then your inner being is focusing in instant success with what you want. But you have, and this is such a delicious part of the creative process, you have created for yourself a gap because you've wanted something that's not natural for you to expect yet. Because most humans only naturally expect what they've already seen. So they don't expect miracles. They don't expect things to be really different. They only expect what they've already seen. But your inner being knows that if you want it, it is done. And your inner being stands there knowing that knowing. And so as you practice letting go of the thoughts that don't feel good and allowing the thoughts that do feel good, you come into that knowing, and then you get to experience the incremental releasing of resistance, which is what relief feels like to you. But then the momentum of it goes greater and greater, from relief of letting go of resistance to the thrill of momentum building, to the thrill of the momentum building enough that it must manifest into something that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. And the thrill, as that's coming along, this is the part that we want you to hear, and you're so ready to hear it. We want you to be thrilled for the emotion, and thrilled for this emotion, and thrilled for this emotion and this insight, not just wait to be thrilled when the manifestation happens. Because there's always going to be another steady stream of things in the pipeline over which you can be thrilled. And if you're waiting for the manifestation before you celebrate, you see, your inner being doesn't wait for the manifestation. Your inner being is thrilled when this idea happens, and thrilled when this piece comes, and thrilled when this piece comes. Your inner being is thrilling and thrilling and thrilling. And when you get those thrilling feelings, those things that feel like insight and yes and passion and eagerness long before it's manifested, what you're feeling is what your inner being is feeling. And the fact that you're feeling it means you're wide open. You're calibrated.
Thank you very much.
And the thing that we so want you to understand, we're just going to savor this all on our own for just a moment, and then we're going to let you in on it. Far and away, can't even find a percentage comparison that is accurate. Such weak little words. So much more of your life is lived in that time when there's no manifestation, but there's a whole lot of pleasing going on. But if you've calibrated to only be pleased with manifestations, then you're missing all these thrilling moments, all these thrilling moments, all these thrilling moments. We're turning somersaults. We're dancing on the... Can you imagine what it feels like to us to see you experience life and birth something? You've given birth to something that is new. Our celebration is supreme. And then to get to witness you tuning to it on purpose, tuning to it, not acting like a human that needs to see it all, tuning to the feeling of it, calibrating to the vibration of it, loving the insight that flows to you and waiting for the inspiration, no longer needing to manipulate every little thing, but feeling the fine tuning of this, feeling the thrill of these emotions, and then seeing you, allowing more and more of that momentum and feeling more and more in love with yourself and in love with life and in love with others and in love with creation and glad to be here. These words are so inadequate to portray that feeling that your inner being feels, and you relaxing into that and letting yourself just be good and be good in this moment. We mean feel good in this moment. Acknowledge the perfection of life and the rightness of you and the bigness and the value of the whole of it and the benefit that each and every other person is offering to you. And when you start deliberately tuning to that so that you are calibrating to the subtle nuances of this deliciousness, and then something manifests. Esther remembers moving to the desert and thinking that Jerry had lost his mind because she liked San Diego and the desert was sparse. And then because they walked every day. She began calibrating to the beauty of the desert. She began smelling the beauty of the desert. Oh, water on the sand. She began seeing the subtleness of the flower on the cactus. And in time, the subtle beauty of that one little flower on that great big cactus was as meaningful to her as all the beauty that she'd seen in all the world, all the rest of her life. That's that grounding that you were talking about. Tuning to the wholeness of who you are. And then in this moment, being able to feel the wholeness of all of that appreciation. In other words, it doesn't need to be appreciable for you to appreciate it. You just need to be appreciating. You see what we're getting at? So then the world can be whatever it be's, and you can be as happy as you choose to be. That was big.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good.